Hello and welcome to part 6 of this tutorial for the DIY budgeting sheet on Fiverr.com. Please see the link below in the description. So last video we went over how to basically input your debit expenses from your bank account, excluding credit card payments, unless you don't plan on using the credit card trackers on here. Now, if you're not planning on using these bad boys over here, which I highly suggest you do if you do have credit cards, I do suggest you use these. But if you don't want to, or if it's if it's not something you want to do right away, gonna go ahead and skip this video. But here I'm actually going to show you how to use the credit card accounts trackers. So, the first thing I would do is change the names for each credit card box, as I call them. Now you'll notice here it has credit card number 1 and then the costs. And then immediately goes to credit card number 2 and then the costs. And then for each credit card, you notice that you have a debt before. This is kind of like your balance. For your bank account, this is your debt amount as it was before any expenses, before any payments for this pay period, before everything. That's why it's debt before. And then you'll see here is your expenses, your credit card expenses. That's all of this added together. And then your debt after. That's gonna be including. This is your total after all the expenses. And then you have your payment, which is right here in yellow. Now this payment is editable. This is something you should edit as needed. What you do is you basically, if you made a credit card payment for this credit card account for this pay period, so if you made in pay period 1, if you paid, let's say $300, you put 300 right here, and then that is your debt after payment. And then which we'll talk about more in a little bit. Here's your remaining credit. That is something that you can edit as well per your bank account. But to start though, you want to put the names of your credit cards. So credit card number 1, let's say you have a Citibank credit card, so you just put Citibank, for example. And then you can put like the card name. If it has some like specific name or whatever, you can add it in there as well. Or you can just call it Citibank or Citibank CC, whatever you want to call it. And then you can do the same thing for credit card number 2, number 3. And what you'll notice is that these credit card expenses, they actually add to this number because it's a debt. It works the opposite from your bank account. Whereas this number goes down as you spend more money. The more money you spend here, the more the number is going to go up because this is accounting for debt that you're building. So that is how it's a little bit different. But honestly, that's all you have to worry about is just looking through your credit card accounts and seeing what your expenditures are for this pay period 1. Just in the same manner as you would for your bank account. You just treat it the same way, really. Except you have to look at the specific credit card account. So if it's Citibank credit card, then you want to go on your Citibank app or website and look at your expenses for this date range, 6th to the 12th. Well, bam. And you just put it in there. And then if you made a payment that pay period for this account, put it right here in yellow. Yellow is your payments, your credit card payments. Everything that's yellow in this budgeting sheet is just credit card payments. So that's how you can remember where to put those. And now here's an additional feature you can also do. This is optional. You don't have to do this, but you can, and it might make things a lot more helpful for you. There is a section here for each credit card where it has remaining credit. So this is the amount you can spend still on the credit card. This is the amount you have left to spend before you hit your maximum credit limit. So if you notice here, for this example, I put $5,000 There's 5,000 right here. What you will have to do, if you do use this function, what you'll have to do is you'll have to edit this for that credit card. So if you have a credit card account, it's not 5,000 though. Let's say your credit card line is like, let's make it better. Let's make it like 7,000. Then that's all you do. You just have to adjust the number here. And I only have this for credit card number 1 and credit card number 2. I put 1,000 for credit card number 2 as an example. But if you go to credit card 3, 4, and 5, you'll see a little error message right here. Let me actually zoom in so you can see it. So it shows a little error message right here. But do not be afraid. That's just because if you look at the formula bar up here, it says put credit limit here. So literally it's just me instructing you what to do. So for this credit card number 3 account, let's say your credit limit is, I don't know, let's put 8,000 or something. And then bam. And that's how you do it. Now you can do this for all up to 5 credit cards. You can track up to 5 credit card accounts. I did read that like most Americans have a maximum of 5 credit cards, but if you have more than that, well, I'm kind of sorry for that. I can make a budgeting sheet in the future that has more of these, and perhaps I will. But really, the maximum that most people have, I think it's like in over 90% or something. They have maximum of 5 credit cards. But yeah, so that is how you use the tracker for that. Now, like your credit cards, again, as I said before, make sure that if you're starting in January, beginning of January, first pay period, you're paid every Friday. Make sure your balance before is what it is accurate per a previous video. And what else? Do you have to do these remaining? Oh yeah, for the remaining credit sections. It might seem like a lot to do, but really, all you need to do is just once you do it once. Once you put your credit lines in for one time, all you need to do is copy. So you select everything here, you hit Control C, or you can right click and do Control and copy. And then you click here where it starts on the same row right here, and you just Control V as in Victor, and bam. All of your credit lines that you've edited are now in this section, and it is relevant for this for these. The cells also translate to their relevant positions. So if you notice here and here, it references different cells. That means it's actually scooting over as well. So that's all you have to do, and you can do this for the entire year for all of your credit card accounts. You just copy and paste, and you could just keep hitting Control V throughout the entire year until you get to the end of December, and then you still have your credit limits being measured. So that's how you use your credit card, the credit card account trackers on this budgeting sheet. You don't really need to know Excel that well to use it. The only part where you might need some kind of proficiency is just putting in the credit limits on here. And so that is it. Onward to the next section.